The seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. Two teams more than ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Ford Field. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
Here we go, here we go, here we
go. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down. These two teams, you may remember, they met in Minnesota earlier in the year with the Vikings coming out victorious. So if they can win again here in Detroit, they'd pull off the season sweep. Here's Cook again. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Well, on third down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And he used the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on. And I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 21. They'll run for it. Cook. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. On 1st and 10, it's Swift. Shifts by him, and he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy's setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Off play action, Pickett. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone, and that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Jamison Williams, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
As this offense gets ready here for this drive, Charles, you still wonder about that prior drive. Went for it on 4th down in their own territory, didn't get it, and then that led to a touchdown on the other side.
And I don't mind the aggressiveness. In fact, I'm usually a huge fan of it, but I just want teams to always weigh risk and reward. To me, too early in this game because reward just wasn't big enough to go for it there in case they failed. Now the pressure back on their offense to pick themselves up and negate the touchdown that was just given up.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
They run again on first down. Cook. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Play action. Garoppolo. This one brought in by Jefferson. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful of one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And some space here.
They're trying to tiptoe the pylon, but they're going to say he stepped out at the 1-yard line.
53 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. So close. Couldn't get all the way in, knocking on the doorstep down to the 1. Nevertheless, fantastic run.
Not only that, this is where you wave to your replacement, go back to the bench. No way. I'm not coming out of this game. I got it down to the 1-yard line. I want to carry it in.
Now he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Dalvin Cook with career touchdown number 75. And the Vikings are an extra point away from drawing level. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Here comes Khalif Raymond from his end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They currently sit 1 game over 500 thanks to their victory a week ago. Yeah, Charles, they've been really an up-and-down team all year. Do you think that they have enough to get into the playoffs?
Well, you did mention they've been up and down all year, so to me...
And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be brought down at the 27. Sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
And that's how you start a drive, because you know they had this play in their back pocket, waiting for the right time to unleash it. And boy, did they pick the right opportunity. Unleashed it big time, and that was also a big-time throw.
Pickett to throw on first down. This is caught. Touchdown. T.J. Hockenson, 27 yards. And the Lions have moved out in front. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up.
Well, this defense for the Lions, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
On play action, it's Garoppolo.
Able to hook up with Williams here on the out route.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a first down.
First down, Minnesota.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
Lions 14, Vikings 7.
Here we go.
First down, here's the run with Cook. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
66 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Again, it's Cook. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. And Cook has it, left side.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And this is off the left upright. And it comes back. It's no good. And this will stay at a 7-point game. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
They will run straight ahead with Swift.
And he's got some space here.
And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes.
Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Steven Nelson. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward. I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Here we go.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. 2nd down, they go right back to Cook. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. To throw is Garoppolo. Quick slant here to Smith. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. Now they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. Ezra Cleveland, the guard, called for the penalty there.
Here we go.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They'll try the middle with Cook. And some room to maneuver. And he'll get it down to the 47 here.
96 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
Here we go. Wait.
They run it again with Cook. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Throwing on second down. Garoppolo. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And another long drive from the offense, but the defense is denying them the end zone. Nothing to show for the last drive offensively. They can't come away empty-handed again.
On third and long, it's Garoppolo setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play, and that's going to make it fourth down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for first and 10. And they'll send the tight end in motion.
First and 10, here's Pickett. Looks again for T.J. Hockenson, and he's got him again.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent game. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Pickett right back to the air again.
And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's 4th.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Garoppolo, a final shot here before half. complete. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. Here's Raymond bringing it out. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box, establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one. So now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game. And down the stretch, being able to be balanced. Either throw it or run it and try and win this ball game.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. In motion left comes Williams. Third and long for Pickett. Flush to his right. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to fourth down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's third down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here first and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I've played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, hey, yeah, we called him the disruptor. And that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
The passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Garoppolo. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. And here's Ryan Wright now as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Fielded just inside the 30. 13 yards the tally on the return there. And the Lions will take over. Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Working out of the gun, it's Pickett. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Lewis Seen. And the Vikings are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. Buying time, and a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long.
21.
Another try after the 1st down sack. Garoppolo. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Levante David making his presence felt in the backfield.
So, Brandon, we slide in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
And down he'll go at the 25. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down.
And here's Ryan Wright now.
As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Taken right on the 30. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
Let's see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis.
And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Once again, it's Swift.
And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Now Pickett will look to pass it.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down.
Pickett.
Flushed out right. And out of bounds right around the 20. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a 1st.
Evident there that he learned his lesson from the last drive. No way he was going to force a throw that time. When nothing broke open, kept it, and ended up running for a 1st down himself.
And the tight end goes in motion left. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
On 2nd and 10, Pickett. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run here with Swift. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And this one is right through. And that moves them up by a touchdown now at 17-10.
So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Give to Cook out of the gun. And down right around the 32-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he will finally be wrestled down at the Lions' 29-yard line. 173 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Funches has it complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Garoppolo now. And this is going to be incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Now, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Badgley able to knock this one through. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there. hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Pickett now on first down.
Eluding the pressure, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
They run out of the gun with Swift.
He's got this almost to the 40 before going out.
I don't think anyone thought we'd see a run facing second and that long, and that element of surprise, I think, helped make that play so successful. Nice effort on that carry, and it took what seemed like second and impossible, now has him within throwing range of a first down.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6.
Back to throw, Pickett.
Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson.
And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Swift going to try up the middle.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown.
They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it. They got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
And the Lions are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as strong running gets them to the 9-yard line. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more, what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
Here's a handoff to Swift running left.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit.
DeAndre Swift, his 12th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that pushes the lead up to 11. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
Here we go.
Play fake. Garoppolo.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Here's Garoppolo to throw. Escaping and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Now Garoppolo, gotta have this one. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Greedy Williams picks it off.
And the Lions force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. In motion, the tight end.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop him with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Here's Pickett. Quickly to Hawkinson.
And they're able get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 14 there, and that should be enough to get him home free.
That's good for the Lions. First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Helping them just a field goal? That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for the Lions, they're not going to go quietly here as the win moves them now to 8-6 on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, their slim playoff hopes are gone now as they fall to 5-9. And they'll be back home next week as their
really out for blood this time. Look. I just came back for the win. Gonna tell a friend to tell a friend. They say success is the best revenge. Heard they was sleeping again, say it no more. This is a rude awakening, kicking the door. Back and I'm better than ever before. Don't get it mistaken, I'm ready for war. I see the options, I'm ready for war. Jump in the course, follow the core and back to the morgue. Take the sheet off and I some more. When I am done at the scene, I won't leave anything. You won't even know who was involved. Don't let me do it cause I overdo it and do it till I cannot do it no more. All of the doubters, I'm proving them wrong. Back with the classic, I know it's been long. Heard they was missing me while I was gone. I smell the victory back up on time and it's where I belong. Like it ain't to me, we making history. Fall through the misery, weather the storm. Can't let them get to me, no weapon form should prosper. Be all over my roster, I got options. I keep it right on the dresser, next to the Oscar. Applying pressure, somebody stop us. Woo! Applying pressure, somebody stop us. Running my casa, go need a doctor, go need a doctor, go need a what? I just came back for the win. Lot of new money in my hand. Gonna tell a friend to tell a friend. They say success is the best revenge. I just came back for the win. Lot of new money in my hand. Gonna tell a friend to tell a friend. They say success is the best revenge. So now they on my body. Made it to the top. Ain't no way that they can stop me now. They gon' say I joined the Illuminati. I got demons all around me. Tell me what they know about me. I just came back for the win. Lot of new money in my hand. Gonna tell a friend to tell a friend. They say success is the best revenge. I just came back for the win. Lot of new money in my hand. Gonna tell a friend to tell a friend. They say success is the best revenge.
Bigger, better, petty, don't matter. Far as the teller, I pray to God they rattle tattle. Hey, what's a rapper? I started off that, now I'm better. I get capital. I help my people to get cheddar. I do business. Look here, stay out my business. I'm so iceberg slimish, stainless, not a blemish. I should have been in prison. Don't boy remorse, no cases pinned. I got the rolling flooded, soaking wet, but ain't been swimming. I'm the man now, ain't I? Work a plan now, can't I? I remember when you lame player, hated a player, now the same lame player. They call a player mayor. Say, what you talking that funky, about my face, wearing that monkey. Not that might give you life advice. Get label me a Huey P. Made a martyr out of Martin, out of Malcolm, out of Mega. I refuse to let these dirty devils make Michael a beggar. A hero CEO, I will go Magneto for my people. Give me liberty or death, that is my credo, not my ego. Dressed in a tuxedo, into party, alter ego. Killed your leader in gazebo, did it for the people. Love what motivated, I did not do it for hatred. But I truly hate the devil, I cannot debate or fake it. I was asked a question and the asker thought it hard. If I was facing death and I could ask one thing of God, I would ask for every to be free here and abroad. And to be rightfully celebrated as a child of God. And to be rightfully celebrated as a child of God.
Need a black superhero. Every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto. Need a black superhero. Our own kind took nip from us. Money still reading God we trust. Truthfully we envy, so why we so envious? And why our own kind envy us? Pac said it's hard, but we gotta keep our head up. Going even though we know we fed up. It's hell attention, cause we ain't careful where we all pay attention. I need all my real soldiers on the front line, fighting for the right just one time. So unstoppable together at the same time, with the same mind. Yeah, we're born to be high and always above what's beneath us. So every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto. Need a black superhero. Every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto. Need a black superhero.
I'm talking bulletproof kind of suit, reflect the struggle that they put us through, with the strength to fight the power like Chuck D do, with the insight to be equal. No, the sky needed a voice that finds reason to multiply people in the streets for the cause. Marching on Washington miners will be walking through walls. Type of superhero show up when ain't no one to call. That'll shield you from them shields that been killing us all. High beams for eyes to peek the villains in the dark. Power of resolution for a war would even start. The knowledge to build and grow where they live and take care of the kids and the older folk. The queen cause they need it most. Politics with the kings about economic growth. Cure PTSD cause mental health ain't a joke. Feed the hungry in dope. Everyone would know everywhere we go.
Every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto. Need a black superhero. Every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto. Need a black superhero. It's gonna take one of us to save us. It's gonna take love and a lot of trust. We just got to keep that faith and know that. Well, guess you got mine, I got your back. I know it's gonna take one of us to save us. It's gonna take love and a lot of trust. We just got to keep that faith and know that. Well, guess you got mine, I got your back. I know. Every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto. Need a black superhero.
I'm downstairs. You mean? Girl. I told you I'd be ready. You always got excuses and you know I be on top of things. Punctual my proper name. On the dot is not your aim. Although we in love, we are not the same. I hit you on that celly. You said you needed 5, that was more than 12 ago. Claim you got your hands tied, time stuck like Velcro. Georgia Peach on east side like it's ATL. You lacking, you tripping, you slacking, impatient, be waiting, confused like what happened. You get attitude cause I'm getting mad, cause you wanna take 20 minutes and a half. And on top of that, I gotta get gas out the freeway, pick up traffic. What the is you doing? We gotta dip, 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 dip. Cardi, yeah. Watch your tick, 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 tick. Waiting for that last minute for your hell. Now stop playing games, go and bring your downstairs. Come on, let's go.
leave it 8 and we got the fur on that upper deck in the open